Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Michael Carbone. I'm a business and immigration lawyer in Staten Island, New York. And today I want to talk about the Fiancé visa process and what happens after the I-129F petition is approved by USCIS. Now, before I dive into this topic, if you have any questions or you want to start a conversation, please drop a comment below. Otherwise, if you want to set up a formal legal consultation with me, please visit us at carboneattorneys.com. We have a button in the top right corner of our website. Click it, fill it out, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. So your initial petition that you filed with USCIS to establish your relationship between you and your fiance has been approved by USCIS, and now the process is going to start moving to the US Consulate or embassy abroad where your fiance lives. So what initially happens is USCIS then transfers the file to the Department of State's National Visa Center. And what the National Visa Center does is they put the packet together, they prepare it, and they send it out to the proper US embassy or consulate abroad where the K-1 visa applicant will conduct their interview. Now, this process is supposed to take around 30 days for the transfer to occur, but due to backlogs and significantly strained resources, it's getting closer to about 90 to 100 days for the packet to move to the embassy. It's unfortunate that there is additional waiting time in this process, given that normal processing times for the initial petition can hover anywhere from 18 months or greater to get an approval. So what happens once the US embassy or consulate receives that packet from the National Visa Center? Well, considering that there are numerous embassies and consulates spread all over the world, you will get different responses. You would imagine that they would be uniform when it comes to this process, but there is not a cut and dry process when it comes to every single consulate. However, there are some truths that exist with the remainder of this process. So for starters, the K-1 visa applicant will get an email from the embassy or consulate saying that they've received the packet from USCIS, and usually there is an explanation or a PDF attachment with a breakdown of next steps. First, the consulate or embassy is going to recommend filing the DS-160. That is the actual visa application, and this is what the embassy or consulate will rely on when interviewing the K-1 visa applicant and determining whether or not to grant or deny that visa. The packet from the consulate or embassy should also mention a medical examination. Now, the K-1 visa applicant will need to go through a medical examination process prior to appearing at the interview. Now, we've addressed the medical examination process in a prior video, so you can check that out to learn a little bit more about what to expect when it comes to the medical examination. Next, the K-1 visa applicant will be asked to obtain a police certificate from their home country and any other country where they have lived for longer than 6 months after the age of 16. Next, the embassy or consulate will likely ask for the I-134, which is a declaration of financial support. This must be filled out by the US citizen petitioner and basically establishes that they will be responsible for taking care of the K-1 visa applicant when they arrive in the United States and essentially cover their financial burdens, as they will not be authorized to work in the United States upon their arrival. And lastly, the embassy or consulate will likely require the K-1 visa applicant to set up a delivery service for after the visa is approved, so that the approval packet and passport with the K-1 visa stamp inside can be sent to the visa applicant for picking up and eventually traveling to the United States. Next, once the DS-160 application is officially submitted to the Department of State, the K-1 visa applicant will want to go to the embassy's website and schedule their interview. Now, these interviews get scooped up very quickly, so you want to make sure that you grab the earliest appointment that you can get, but also give yourself enough time to gather all of those documents that I just mentioned so that you can have them when preparing to arrive for a successful interview. Next is the interview itself. Now, you want, as the K-1 visa applicant, you want to bring all of those documents I mentioned as well as any documents supporting the existence and validity of your relationship with your fiance. And this can include the original petition, the I-129F approval notice, documents, pictures, like anything that you can think of that really legitimizes and shows that you are in a legitimate relationship with your fiance. We've also done another video on the interview itself and what questions to expect, so check that one out to learn a little bit more about preparing for the K-1 visa interview. Now, assuming everything goes great and your visa is approved, the consulate or embassy will essentially take roughly 7 to 10 days to finally review the visa application and mark it for approval. At that point, the K-1 visa applicant will likely be able to pick up their passport and the travel packet and make their arrangements for traveling to the United States. Now, once the flight is booked and the K-1 visa applicant has flown to the United States, upon arrival, they will interact with CBP, and CBP, Customs and Border Protection, will ask some questions about their arrival. Why are you here? They'll review the visa, and the K-1 visa applicant will hand that travel packet to CBP. And again, if everything goes great, they will stamp the passport and welcome you into the United States. So that's it. That's the process from the moment the I-129F petition is approved until the K-1 visa applicant is safely within the United States. If you like this video and you want to see more, please like, subscribe, and I'll keep making them.